Pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports because of its appeal to athletes of all ages, but it's not without its injuries, unfortunately. My name is Dr. Robin Armstrong. I'm a chiropractor at Willowbrook Chiropractic in Langley, and today I'm going to talk about some of the most common pickleball injuries and what you can do to avoid them. Now, generally, pickleball injuries are divided up into two categories: acute or sudden, and chronic or overuse type injuries. So let's talk about those acute injuries. Those acute injuries happen when your body has to respond suddenly to a situation and the tissues are just not prepared to respond. So the demands do not meet what your body is prepared to give. So I'm thinking about a common injury in midlife is an Achilles injury. So the Achilles tendon is the big tendon on the bottom of the calf. It's not uncommon to tear or strain this tendon, and this is going to be from a sudden change of movement when you're up on the balls of the feet. Another good one to think of is an ankle sprain. You suddenly have to move or you change directions and the ligaments of the ankle can't support it and they either tear or they get stretched. Also, a wrist sprain or strain. Maybe the ball comes at a certain angle and you're not gripping properly, or it's so much force that it kind of pulls you into a different direction, and then the ligaments and tendons of the wrist cannot adapt. So what can you do to prevent these types of injuries? Well, preparing off the court can be really helpful. So adding in some strength training to your routine can help prepare your body for these demands. Also, warming up, making sure the tissues are limber, the muscles are long, the tendons are ready to respond to the demands that you're going to put on them. And we've made a video about a pickleball warm-up that I encourage you to try. Also, making sure that there is a clean playing surface. Often pickleball players are responsible for making sure the court is tidy. So make sure there's no debris, there's nothing you're going to trip on or slip on. You want the court to be dry. And be aware of your surroundings when you're playing with a player. Communicate with another player so there's no collisions and you're not going to have those sudden traumatic injuries. Let's talk about the other type of injury in pickleball, which is the overuse type injury or chronic type injuries. So these are injuries where over time, that repetition builds up and we fail to either notice that there's signs of an injury coming on, or we fail to prepare to prevent that type of overuse. So I am thinking of things like tennis elbow or golfer's elbow. So that's where the tendons on the inside or the outside of the elbow start to get sore. You get a swelling and itis, a tendonitis in there, and that can cause a lot of elbow pain and discomfort. Also, the muscles of the rotator cuff, if you're doing some overhead movements, if you repeat that under strain, we can get some pinching or pain in the shoulder there. Also, hips. There's a lot of side to side lateral movement going on in there, and if we're repeating that without properly preparing our hips for these movements, then we can start to have a buildup of tension in the hips or even in the low back. So what can you do for that? Well, warming up, as I previously said, but also cooling down. So after you have played, this is an excellent time to do some mobility, some stretching, and that's going to set you up better for the next time that you play. And we have done a cool down for pickleball video as well that I encourage you to try that out. Also, notice if you're having any of these wiggles, these little signs that you might be getting an overuse injury, then you can book in with us. You can book online with us at willowbrookchiropractic.com. We treat necks, backs, elbows, shoulders, knees, feet and ankles, you name it. If it's a joint, we can help you figure out what's going on, what the next steps are, and what you can do to prevent this from becoming a bigger thing. So don't let these injuries take you off the court. We want to prevent you from having to miss any of those important pickleball matches. We know how important it is to you. We post regular content under Willowbrook Chiropractic on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you have any questions about what I've talked about here today, please feel free to ask myself, Dr. Robin Armstrong, or Dr. Jody Freedman. We're always happy to help.